I should go to the thing.
Mics are hot. Feed is live. It's time for a show, folks. It's Pi Day 3.14. Right? It's also Comic Conversation Thursday, and we're back with another episode. Justin's here. We have Edwin and Chris as well. Chris stepped away for a second. Edwin's here. Justin is the one. I guess Justin and Chris will be the ones showing face today. This will be the last week where I don't promise. It's been a few weeks, but I think I got a little setup I can roll with, so we'll be doing that. So we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about tonight. Kind of out of nowhere, surprise was the Russos. I guess Kevin Feige and the Russos dropped a freaking Endgame trailer on us this morning out of nowhere, just unannounced. Boom! Can't wait to talk about that. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of revelations from that we can talk about. And it's some other cool news too. Big news as well is the success of Captain Marvel thus far. Shazam came on to some early tracking. Bunch of other news as well. Some CGC stuff we want to cover, which I know Jackio will love. And then we'll talk. Well, I guess I'll talk really briefly at the end about the Grim Knight and what I thought about it. So that's it for the show. So have a good night. No, I'm just kidding. That's it. That's what we'll be talking about tonight for the most part. If you're listening to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever it is, thank you for streaming us. Thank you for listening. We are live only Thursday nights, YouTube, on the JLS Comics YouTube channel, sometimes on the Exile State YouTube channel, but always on Thursday. So that should do it. Shout out to the folks in the chat. We have our fearless moderator, Comically Flotty, says, how's it going, everybody? How's it going to you as well? I see Daniel, Comic G-Man, Exile State Comics is in there. Jackio's in there. Yeah, everybody's rolling in, so very cool. All right, I'm going to kick it over to Justin. I want to find out what you've been up to in the past week.
Oh, just stuff and things, man. Yeah. Playing Magic, like I was on Gomez's live show last night, and
right on.
I wasn't on there. I was just like in the chat. He was going through some stuff, so it was cool. But man, I got to pull the Sunday show back together. Like Sunday morning comics has got to start again. So
for real, bro, everybody's missing it.
For real, I know, and it's painful. So it's got to come back. So we'll be doing that. And then I'm getting everything organized right now for a catch-up haul, get that back on track. So just kind of normal stuff like that, normal fun stuff. Got some, awesome first appearance. Maybe this will show up on Instagram tomorrow. Who knows, Nice. So good stuff.
Very cool. So it sounds like we got some things to look forward to on the horizon from you. So that's exciting.
So. Yes, sir.
Yes. And if you don't want to wait for him to post a video, you can check him out every Monday on comicbook.com. He posts a new comic book list for you guys to take to your shop. So definitely check that out as well. Comicbooked.com. All right, Chris, I see you're back. How have you been in the past week, sir?
I've been doing all right. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Posting haul videos.
Yeah, no, I got so I told you guys I got videos up and everything. I would have put up my haul video a little earlier, but we had an impromptu getaway up to the White Mountains, which is it was pretty fun. That would happen like last Saturday and Sunday. So then came back and get everything as quickly as I could. But just kind of work and everything like that, and then just that little small getaway. And sadly, I wasn't able to get to that White Mountains comic shop. We were like, every time we go, we are, I want to say like 1 or 2 towns over. So maybe like probably a 20-minute ride away every single time. It's just like, can we head over this? No, because we go up with friends. So it's just like, we have this
a little bit too far. Right?
One time.
Yeah.
Just take an extra 20-minute drive. It's like, I know the guy. He's cool with me, But nope. None of them are comic fans, so it's just like I'm on an island by myself. But other than that, though, just it's been cool, and I was happy to get away, kind of get up and see. I mean, I've never been up to the mountains in the wintertime, so really nice up there during that time. So I enjoyed.
It's beautiful up there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, and it was a really nice day. it was 45 degrees, and then like I guess so for all the skiers, they loved it. They were just like, oh my god, this is the most perfect thing ever. And I'm like, just cool to see, different, get out of Boston for a little bit. So that, and then just keeping an eye on different stuff. I put up my haul from last week, and I actually came by a really, really cool book. It was actually a really cool book, which was a pretty cool first appearance. If you haven't seen my video, check it out. Like pretty cool first appearance that I picked up last week. Kind of just a other people ain't paying attention type deal. So now I got to be a little bit eagle-eyed when I walk into my shop, because every once in a while I might come by something really, really cool. So it was awesome to pick that up. But other than that, just doing my thing. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember winters and spring, even into May, going up to the White Mountains and skiing. A bunch of resorts up there skiing. We used to go up, a group of my friends, and ski in the morning, and then go down to the lodge and have lunch.
Yep.
And then snowboard for the afternoon. Those were a lot of fun.
That's
we got those little skis, the little freestyle skis when those first came out.
Yep.
We all had those. Those were fun to play with.
we had gone up because I don't know if you know that, like, the ice castles, that they do that little thing every year. It's basically we wanted to go see that, and so we had left around 11 and got up there around like 3:30, had lunch, and then all of a sudden we came out from we had a late lunch. So after we came out from there, there's just this huge line, like this big snake line of traffic, and I was like, oh, that must be all the skiers. So I was like, wow, they like, and then so I have a coworker that is big into skiing, and he was just like, I asked him, I was like, is there some magical thing about the first weekend in March or whatever? He's like, oh no, he's like, you try to go up there for that. And I was like, we just went up to see the ice castle. He's like, oh man, he's like, it was like the most perfect ski weather you can ever have. I was like, oh, no wonder why I was so busy.
Yeah,
so, I'm not a skier, so I have no idea.
Oh, it's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. So I'm glad you had a good time with that. Even though you didn't get to the shop there, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yep.
How about you, Edwin? Have you been in the past week?
Oh, it's been good. I definitely am putting a video out either this weekend or sometime next week, because I have to because I part of the video is going to include a book from somebody that I actually have to give to this weekend. So I need to. It's going to be a CGC CBCS comparison, and if you are a CGC fan or just a fan of slabs, you are not going to want to miss this video. It is going to blow your freaking mind, and that is no joke. I'm not even just trying to hype it up or anything. Like, CGC really, really missed the mark on their grading, and I'm gonna make a video of it, and it's not gonna be good for them. But it's bad. It's really, really bad. But I actually can't wait to put it out, because what I have to do is every time I get slabs back, I have to kind of inspect them pretty quickly, because I've gotten cracked slabs actually from both companies, and from CGC I just kind of waited too long with a couple shipments ago, and I realized it was cracked, and they wouldn't take it because it had been like over 2 weeks. And so now I inspect them pretty thoroughly right when I get the submissions, and the process of looking over a couple of these books. One of them got a let's just say this, they got a very generous grade than what it should have gotten.
Yeah, I'll be curious what comes out of that. Yeah, it's true though. But if you wait too long, they can't prove that defect, whatever it was, came from them or the shipping. You know what I mean? It could have been something else. That makes sense. But, yeah. But all right, cool. Well, I've been busy. Saw a couple movies a little bit early, so I'm excited to talk about those. Got some videos in the works. Kind of been sick most of this week. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not. Just down some Theraflu before we fired up here. But got some videos in the works that should be coming up pretty soon on the channel as well. So that's pretty much it for me. So we'll keep that part short and sweet. Let's jump into the Endgame trailer. That dropped this morning, right? The second one, very unexpected.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I was just scrolling through my feed. I was on a break at work, and I'm like, that Endgame trailer, what? Didn't expect it at all. So, as is the case with the other one, Kevin Feige said most of the scenes that we would get, or kind of the reveals, would be from the first like 15-20 minutes of the film. So I think this is no exception, and it kind of follows in that same style, that same sort of somber tone. You know, half the people in the entire universe have just been lost. It's not going to be, you know, cheery, jokey kind of thing, obviously, right? But then there were questions about what happens with Tony Stark. Does he make it off the ship? You know,
Those have been answered.
exactly. What's up with Captain Marvel? You know, things like that. So, it's pretty cool. Like they did this in the first trailer, where they had it kind of black and white with a little bit of splashes of red here and there, and those were touching back on previous movies, right? Like the Mark I suit from Iron Man, the thing with the heart that he had. What were some of the other ones? When Steve Rogers, you know, was looking into the costume, you know, from the first Captain America film, right? The first Avenger.
Yeah, that, and when he's I think they also showed when he was thinking of enlisting to the army.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
and he's all skinny and thin, and there was also I think it was like Hawkeye playing with his daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people are thinking maybe Kate, you know, but that's
crap.
Yeah, it's not Kate. It's it's him, or maybe remembering back or talking about, you know, his family. You see the family in the background, and they got snapped away. So he got pissed off and changed his hairstyle and became Ronin. Right.
And then what else is it? And, this is before they start showing all the like really like just sad stuff. I mean, you know, just people getting just, you know, snapped away and dying.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch going, I'm melting.
Yeah. And they made it they made sure to like kind of gray them out, but then put a lot of red in the scene as well.
Yeah.
Because I noticed Falcon's shades were like super red as he's like, you know, getting dusted.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was a scene with Ant-Man, and he was looking really confused.
Yeah.
Like, he come back out of the quantum realm and didn't quite know what happened yet.
Yeah.
So that's got to be towards the beginning. Because later on, at the end of it, you see them all. And this was the answer to, like we were saying, Justin, with Tony and Nebula at the Avengers I keep saying mansion, at the Avengers headquarters, you know, in the big hangar. So it's confirmed, obviously, they came back to Earth, but they have on those white suits. Some people thought they were fake. Those white suits from the toys,
right,
for the quantum realm. So it looks to me like that's when what's his name, Ant-Man, came and was like, what's going on? So we went to the Avengers headquarters, had this quantum tunnel. They built these suits. Captain Marvel shows up, right? She's there. And he has the van with the quantum tunnel in it. That's probably in the hangar. That's probably what they're marching towards, would be my guess, right? Right. So that was a big reveal, knowing that not only does Tony survive up to that point anyhow, but he makes it back to Earth too.
Yeah, and then was it the pot? It was later on a little bit, but it's like with Captain Marvel, that was pretty cool. With, like, her and Thor meet up.
Yeah.
Like he summons back Stormbreaker, and she just kind of smirks him. He's like, "Oh, I like this one."
And it blows by her hair. Like,
yeah.
So that hammer, that's the one before is that the one he lost to Hela, or that's the new one?
No, that's the one that he made. The one that he forged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the one they made in Avenger.
I wasn't like paying attention to the handle or anything.
Yeah, no, it's the same one. He hadn't got another new one yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say I forget what the phrase is that they all repeat it towards the end, basically saying, you know,
whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. And then Black Widow has a good moment in there too, where she was just like, you know, but when she's getting to that, she's like, we owe it to everybody, no matter, you know, what happens next. It's like, we owe it to everybody who died to take a shot, doesn't matter what the consequences are. So basically, you know, she's all in, and she's basically it seems like she's rallying everybody to be like, look, like, you know, all these people are dead. You know, what does it matter whether we die or not? We might as well just go down swinging if we have to.
Right, exactly. The other little scene, it was really quick, was War Machine and Rocket.
Yeah.
Like Rocket was hanging out on War Machine's shoulder. That was really cool.
Yeah. I think
and that was non-white suit. So there's some type of battle without the white suits.
Well,
yeah.
In the other
that was Rocket's old costume, like a really old costume of his.
In the other trailer, there was something similar. Like I feel like they had something similar to that as well. Like you know, like you saw, it's like they looked up and they knew something was coming, and it was him and Rocket again, and it seemed like it was like, you know, before they had gone ahead and had the plan to do anything else. Like, so they were looking up at some type of threat, whether or at least something that made it seem as though something bad was coming. So maybe it's at the time, maybe where Captain Marvel comes to Earth. And maybe they don't know who she is, but they're just like, she's powerful. Like, what's going on with it? You know what I mean? Something like that. I don't know. But I think they're doing a good job of not giving too much, even though you know, people have all of these theories and everything. And I mean, every 2 seconds there's a new theory as to like what really happened and what's going on and this and that. But you know, they're really, I think, doing a good job with the trailer, not to give too much away, not to give more than what you would, you know, and enough so that there's going to be some type of surprise, I think, depending on, you know, what comes next. I don't know if there'll be a third trailer following this or something else, but hopefully I would like them to just kind of keep it like this. It's still kind of ambiguous, so the experience, at least that you get for the most part, is not disrupted by like trailers or someone who's like, oh yeah, I know exactly how this is going to go. Look at this, you know, kind of plotting a timeline, you know, based on.
We're only 5 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that we're here. Like it, 2 trailers in and we still don't know much about it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, it seems like there still should be a whole bunch of time, and it's just like, no, like this is around the corner. I mean,
there's a lot of stories that are going on in this movie, and we're getting to see like barely any snippets of anything. So
yeah.
Well, it's not only that, but a lot of the trailers nowadays, some of the footage isn't even included in the film.
Right. And remember, trailers aren't made by the company that made the movie. They're the footage is given to another company, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to use this song. Here's some movie clips to make it look good." So it's not even like representative of, like you're saying, what we're actually going to see.
Yeah. Does everybody remember too? Back in the very beginning, like the first Avengers movie, one of the, I think it was the trailer they released right before the movie came out. Does everybody remember that they had a 9 Inch Nails song? They haven't done anything even close to that since that point. Like, there's been like no, like with the Avengers movies, at least there's been no, like, you know, actual like musician other than the big orchestra for whenever they're playing. It's funny that they kind of they jumped that, but I guess their own soundtrack for the movie has become so like iconic that it's just like that's what sets the mood better, I think, than having you know, somebody, you know, associate some song that's going to be on the soundtrack. I think that that's probably the best way to do it, just to kind of, you know, drum up the emotion. Just because with this one, I mean, I feel like it's not quite like they're doing a good job of trying to, I guess, make it seem like there's like hope, but there's also just kind of like that little bit of doubt where it's like you still don't know who's coming away from this. So even though there's a little bit of hope built in there, I feel like there's still going to be some sad moments where it's just like you're going to end up losing some characters that you know aren't going to be able to be revived back, or something's going to happen where, you know, the original Avengers, for whatever reason, are probably going to go away, and there's going to be a new crew in there. So I mean, I can't say that I'm excited because I mean, everybody knows that already, but I think they're doing a really good job with it. So I am giving 2 thumbs up for the preparation for the movie, just because 5 weeks can't go past. They can't go by fast enough. So I can't wait.
Word.
I think.
Yeah. I was trying to confirm something that Jackio said, and I was trying to airdrop these 2 images to myself. But he said, I think that there's 2 different hammers for Thor.
Show me.
And
I mean, do we know?
He has Beta Ray Bill with a hammer.
Well, I mean, no. Wait. we are all speculating. Remember this, guys. We're speculating that there is time travel involved in this film.
Yeah.
Right. So then, yes, there could easily be two hammers. They go back before Mjolnir was destroyed.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could still, wield it
too. Like, I mean, maybe he has to forge. I mean, maybe he goes to a different spot to do it. Maybe he has to forge another hammer just because the one that he used to hit Thanos. I mean, maybe it got damaged during the snap. I mean, because you saw how the Infinity.
I think
there's nothing like your first. Yeah, there's nothing like your first love.
I think these might be the same, actually.
It may be the same, but I'm saying time travel.
They both look like they have the wooden Groot handle.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Just because
we haven't seen any new hammer toys, so
no
hammer time. Yeah.
Hammer.
And have all the toys come out? That's gonna.
Jackie said, "Am I crazy? Maybe."
As are we all. With this though, Jackie.
No.
Long trail. I think that I think that long trailers. I think that Marvel does a good job with them. I think that they don't necessarily give you too much, which is good. I think they just kind of pepper in a lot of images to try to drum up the excitement. But I understand what he's talking about, because sometimes there are long trailers that just show way too much of, show parts that they shouldn't. Like Harry Potter used to have long trailers like that would show you things that they shouldn't be showing you, and you're just like, oh man, like, so I can kind of get a gist of what's going to happen in the movie based off of this. I mean,
right? Even like Batman versus Superman. After the couple of things and the big reveal with Doomsday, it's like, okay, well, I think I can tell you the whole plot of this movie. And we're
that was
still 4 months away from it.
The promotion trailer campaign
and Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
they should have kept Wonder Woman under wraps for that. Like, had they kept Wonder Woman under wraps, like that would have that probably would have helped save that. Like, if no one knew anything about Wonder Woman being in there whatsoever, that probably could have saved it from being as just beaten up in the reviews and everything as it was.
Well, I don't know how y'all's theater was, but our theater gave a round of applause as soon as Wonder Woman showed up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, mine didn't, just because everybody knew she was coming. It's like there's no need to, like, the surprise is gone. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right,
when she jumped and did that scream, that was a cool scene. Yeah.
No applause in my theater.
No one was thrilled up there.
We knew once that they set the Doomsday in motion. They was like, all right, so Wonder Woman's coming in the next 5 minutes or so.
But you finally get to see her.
Yeah, but still,
she's like teased throughout as this lady in a nightgown.
Yeah,
hiding a sword somehow.
Nope.
Right.
It could just
be
a thing. I don't
collapses. It's like collapsible, or she's got a little like kind of bag. It's an interdimensional like hole.
Oh, like Mary Poppins bag.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or in that movie like Ultraviolet. Everybody remember that?
No.
Yeah. All right.
With the vampires?
With
no,
Mila? Yeah.
Ultraviolet was that was Mila Jovovich.
That's what I said, Mila.
It was kind of like Eon Flux and like Eon Flux with more motorcycles, and I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, this looks crazy.
It was an anime, but yeah.
Oh, was?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like the director was heavily influenced by anime.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, I want to make a vampire movie, but
was a vampire movie too?
Yeah, she was like driving the motorcycle on the side of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's so like I remember that part. I just never knew it was a vampire movie.
Well, there was like pharmaceutical vampires.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So that's what the Akira tie-in is. Jesus. That's so funny. Just because like it's funny watch stuff now that like I've never seen I've never seen any anime or read any manga about Alita, but it was a good movie. I actually liked it, and I was just like, it's awesome to see things done well. So when you go back and you see what people attempted to do back in the day, especially something that wasn't that just was influenced heavily, it's kind of crazy. Like even the Matrix movies, you go back to not the first one. The first one was very good. The second one though, I mean, like way too much anime influence, way too much. They sacrificed everything for special effects. They were just like, it doesn't even make any sense whatsoever. Just
shoot, George Lucas did that for the first prequels, Star Wars.
No, the prequels at least had some type of time. Like you understood what was going on.
That was a different Akira.
Where it was going.
No, but it was just so CGI heavy. Like he was so used to using practical effects that I don't even think he used any practical effects, and at least the
man.
first.
It was a new world, man. You were trying all this new stuff.
Yeah, like you tried to be the
edge.
with that.
Live in the future.
But the thing was, you know, the thing with those is like, I mean, and I can say you at least knew where they were going. Like the story made, like the Matrix 2. Try to figure out what that story is trying to tell you. You can't. It's all over the place. It makes no sense.
Well, the first one was kind of, you know, that whole like awakening to the true thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like Akira, but it really went off the rails, starting with the second one and completely with the third one. But that first movie, though, that's pretty epic.
Like seriously, that would have been what they should have done. And honestly, it would have made that movie. I mean, it would have made the Matrix kind of like just, even though it had a pretty cool following, like a pretty big following from the get go, it would have made it like have an even bigger cult following. Just if you killed it off in just that one movie, where it's just like, you know, where's the story go from here? Just let people make their own imagination up about it, because where it went was just out of control. Like it didn't make any sense, and really, it just like it's to the point where a lot of people just like, yeah, I can't deal with this.
It was too
like
I convoluted.
Think the only good sequel to the Matrix is the Animatrix. That's it. After that, I mean, just because you can kind of see in their world and how things go, but other than
that existed.
Yeah, well, the Animatrix.
That was good.
It's just you know, but it's not bad. It's just it is what it is. Like you know, like that. It's just a bunch of stuff together to kind of tell you what the Matrix is like, what the world of the Matrix is all about. You know, all the world outside the Matrix is kind of about.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's enough about the Matrix. They're not making.
There's a whole theory about even in that quote unquote real world. That was still part of the Matrix.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, because like that was what.
That's why he was able to have powers still, you know.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing that kind of made it. You know, what made the first movie kind of cool was just like, you know, you could still even from the first movie, you could still even make a theory that, you know, that the Matrix, the real world or the world outside the Matrix still has, you know. You still may be locked into the Matrix just because based on how everything was kind of there were just a lot of things that just didn't make sense. Like how is this dude just kind of meeting up with and you know, telling you know, machines what's going on, like, you know, all these different things that kind of pop up. But anyway,
so you mentioned hammer. Let's go back to the hammer, but not Thor's hammer. So this piece comes from DC and Dark Horse. They announced that Justice League and Black Hammer are going to do a crossover.
Oh, wow.
How does that sound?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm intrigued by it. I don't know. Sure, it'll be, you know.
Black Hammer from?
That
Dark
is
Horse.
Dark Horse.
Oh, Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that.
I'm surprised there's not more crossovers with Dark Horse. I feel like DC and Dark Horse could, like, they have a bunch of characters that could like mesh well and cross over pretty nicely.
Yeah.
No, but the fact that the crossovers are coming back, I think is a good thing, especially with like Batman and Turtles. I mean, I think it was kind of a trial thing with the whole comic books, and I think that they saw how successful it was that they decided to go with the anime version. Because I think Turtles and Batman, didn't that go to like 3 printings at least? At least.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've already run like they're on volume 2, volume 3 is about to come out or something like that.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Turtles and Batman was I mean, I was surprised at how popular it got because I figured, you know, a lot of times with crossover books it's like, all right, here's a, you know, just kind of a throwaway, you know, not that people don't like it, it's just, you know, here's a throwaway, no one's really into it, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, this is really good. Like I know one that would be really cool to see play out because the series was good. I mean, it didn't have as much, you know, hype behind it as the Batman Turtles, but the Thundercats and Masters of the Universe was pretty fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that was good. It was the art. The art hurt it for a lot of people. Like they didn't even want to give it a try because of the art.
Yeah,
yeah, it looked like it was done with Crayola crayons or something. Yeah, I thought it was good.
But I think that Dark Horse had, like I said, like they have some great characters. Like I mean, you could have, just like if you have like someone like maybe like a Constantine and Hellboy movie or a crossover, just like Doc and Hellboy or BPRD, something like that. That would be cool. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that you can cross over with, you know, with DC that like you know wouldn't be so bad.
Is Black Hammer a good title? I've never even read it.
It is.
It was popular for a while, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna cross over with Justice League though.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I could see it crossing over more with like Justice League Dark.
But still, nobody knew how Turtles and Batman and He-Man and was it Justice League was going to cross over, and those stories were freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's tough.
Comic Book Club's got the next.
I'll tell you right now, I would love to see a Boris the Bear team up cartoon. That would be hilarious.
Really, Adam, Judge Dredd and DuckTales.
Judge Dredd he's not even DC.
I am the law.
Yeah,
that's like IDW. They actually could do that crossover because I think they have both titles at IDW.
All right, let's jump into Captain Marvel. You guys all saw it, I'm sure.
No, I didn't. Not yet.
You didn't see it? Okay, we're not doing spoilers.
Yay!
Really. But the news this week is just how well it's been doing. I know we did our predictions, which I don't have here. We'll do the reveal on those next week. But as it is right now, it's over 500 million. It's 550 million worldwide. Domestic, we're going into the second weekend, which, as I know, Edwin, we spoke about this briefly, will be very telling for this, kind of how much leg it has. But right now, it's sitting at 187.6 million domestic. Yeah. It did 153
so close
last weekend. Yeah, 153 million.
So close to 100 million.
Yeah, it was really funny. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, you know, it doesn't matter how good it is. You know, it's a superhero movie. Of course, they're going to do well these days."
That's not true.
And well, yeah, and then Josh Trank, who was the director of the Fantastic Four movie, all he said was, "Hold my beer." So I mean, that was pretty funny. But the story there is kicked ass in the box office.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I like the only spoiler I'll accept is if the Super Skrull is in it, or at least alluded to in some way, shape, or form. That's the only thing I want to know.
Super Skrull is still Fox, so technically they can't use it.
I don't care.
The deal is going to close March 20th.
They could call him. Close. They could call him Johnny the Angry Skrull or something. I don't care. If there was some type of Skrulls, like no, I'm most powerful. One hasn't even come out yet. That's all I want to hear. Something like that.
We didn't get to see a lot of Skrulls.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I have a question though, Jesse. Did you get a like an advanced screen, or did you just see it when it was open to the general public?
I saw it in an advanced screening, but the advanced screenings were only a couple days before wide release. So I saw it I don't want to say last Tuesday. That sounds like it was last week. The Tuesday before wide release. Was it the Tuesday?
Oh, okay. So you saw it on the 4th, I think. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Was it full?
Yeah, it was pretty full. Yeah.
Okay. Was it theaters full?
Yeah, I went to, like I said, Saturday at like the 12:45, 1 o'clock show, and yeah, it was full.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I didn't even attempt. I mean, obviously, I had gone away, but I didn't even attempt to see it when I came back, just because it was all sold out. I mean, people wanted to see it.
Yeah,
it was sold out where you were at in Boston.
Yeah, because people. The thing about it is that people. I'll say this much: even if people weren't like super in the movie, like that end credit scene was what people really wanted to see, and how it tied in. Like that's what the people were looking for, was the connection to Endgame.
Yeah,
exactly. And the soundtrack was really good, and all the weird '90s stuff that was odd and awesome at the same time. You're like, I remember that. So I thought they did a good job with it. I really enjoyed it, like just the pace of the movie and everything. So.
See, I'm jealous that Jesse got to see it early, because like around here, like it would be awesome to be able to get in there early to see it, because I know for a fact it's not going to be like packed to the gills and sold out. Like it's going to be. I'm gonna have to scramble pretty hard to try to get in there this weekend and see if I can get in, because I'll just see it at a very off time, like maybe like the very first show, or like, you know, at some weird point, you know, on Sunday. You know,
at like 11 in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably gonna be my only option, just because. I mean, I haven't looked again. I mean, hopefully it's calmed down, but I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know, I kind of have the double-edged sword of the theater that I now go to more is the closest one to my house is still kind of new. It's only been around for about, I'd say, like 3 years. So that's like the premier theater. Like people go there all the time, and it's just like.
Yeah, but I will say
oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say the trailers didn't do Brie Larson any justice whatsoever. No, like she plays that character very, very well, and the trailers portray her as like something I don't even know, but it was like she did a really good job.
I wonder if that's like now from the trailers you're saying that they didn't do a good job in showing her as she should,
like her personality and everything.
Yeah.
Like she was always too stoic, or they wouldn't like showing like little quirky stuff. Like she's got a lot of like, you got to watch like what she does. She does a lot of like emotion through her face and her eyebrows and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, like those little smirks and blowing
the hair
out of her face.
Her like snarky attitude, like is awesome. You know
what's funny to me? The only thing, and I didn't even realize it was her. I mean, but like the only movie I've ever seen with her in it is Scott Pilgrim. I didn't realize that she was in that movie. She's Envy Adams. I was like, oh man. I was like, that's her. That's a long time ago. I was like, but like I haven't seen anything she's been in since that point. So it's just like, you know, I have no I really don't know her acting ability. I know that she's one of
I think this was like the first thing I think I've really ever seen her in. I can't.
Yeah. The other thing is Room.
Yeah, I didn't
the movie Room came out a few years ago. It's on Netflix.
I mean, I have to check it out, but I have no idea. Like, I know her name, I just don't know. Other than Scott Pilgrim, that's the only thing I know that she's ever been
in.
Yeah. Even like the subtle changes they made to alien history, or what we would think we would see in alien histories, like didn't bother me at all. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, if they did it the other way, that would just be weird. So okay, this makes sense. You know, like there was nothing in the movie that like made me like go, oh, I'm a comic book nerd. You didn't do that right. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That's cool to know.
I enjoyed it, but I don't know if you guys saw my review. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, which isn't the best score. Definitely above average, you know, and definitely enjoyed the movie. But for me, it certainly had its issues, and I would put it kind of more mid-tier if I was going to rank the MCU films. It's kind of more in the middle there. It had some cool reveals and some cool scenes and stuff, but overall, as a whole movie, for me, it was okay.
Yeah, it had, you know, I feel the same way. Like it doesn't go into like, I don't even know if I really ranked it. I don't know, but I mean, I don't think it would fit in like my top 5 MCU movies. You know, something like that. It wouldn't be like way near the top. Exactly. It would be kind of in the middle, because it's, you know, it's a solo character origin story. There is stuff at stake, but it doesn't have a ton of weight like Avengers has been ringing us through and everything else, you know.
I can see that.
Or even Guardians. So while yes, I still say it's a good movie, but it's not like the best MCU movie. Yeah.
That's probably fair. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think that right now, it's tough to do origin stories just because of the fact that, like how you were saying, that there's so much that kind of hinges on. I mean, like Avengers is just been so big and grand. It's just like, you know, an origin story kind of just takes you out of the moment. It's just like, you know, you figure, especially when everything's been building to. You know, they're gonna be in the Avengers film at some point. So it's like, even what happens here doesn't seem to matter all that much. And because it's a time period piece, it's like, you know, that nothing. Well, I wouldn't say you know, but I would say it's probably good intuition to think that not too much is gonna, you know, things that come out of there aren't gonna be that importantly wade into, you know, what's going on with, you know, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe up to and including, you know, the Avengers and all that type of stuff. So I feel like, you know, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. And that doing a origin movie like that would be kind of tough, just because of the fact that it's a time period piece more so than just, you know, introducing somebody into, you know, the world as it is. Like, because even Black Panther started out, you know, all right, here we have, you know, T'Chaka in the 90s, but then we're up to modern day. This is what's going on, and you don't get that with Captain Marvel.
Well, I think her role is going to be significant in the end game, and I'll just say it here first. I know a lot of people are kind of speculating on this already, but I think they're going to just throw SJW jizz all over this film, and I think Captain Marvel is going to be the one to defeat Thanos, and I think it's gonna piss a lot of people off. I've heard some of the reviews. Like I was watching ETA Nick's review, and he was saying, like, I guess Captain Marvel is so powerful now that she could beat Thanos, I guess, as is. I mean, I haven't seen the film, but
I didn't get that impression from the film. Like, you know, you had Thor take on the full force of a star, you know, when they were forging the new hammer. I didn't get the feeling from this movie that Captain Marvel is more powerful than that.
Yeah.
You know?
So you don't think they're going to make her the one
Deus Ex Machina style?
Plus, boys, I'm telling you right now, Matt, if you want to get upset, it doesn't matter, because I'm telling you right now, what's going to happen is it's Nebula.
Yeah, just like in the comic.
Just like in the book, it's going to be Nebula.
Yeah.
That would be the most meaningful, right?
People, the one thing
that's not SJW anything. It's a woman that takes him down in the book.
No, I understand. But you know how I am. I like to throw a little monkey wrench into the whole situation. So let me share my screen for a little bit, because I got some new news that has kind of come out in the past 24 hours, which I know a lot of you guys probably haven't really heard yet. The reason why I was asking you guys about the whole screen thing is because I was always trying to figure out, you know, they say, you know, high ticket sales and stuff like that. You know, I'm in Houston. I'm in the 4th largest city in the U.S. I took some screenshots on my phone the day before Captain Marvel was released, Thursday morning. So this was like a Friday evening. And you know, you have quite a few seats that were already taken. And then you kind of scroll on 11:45 p.m. There's like 2, 4, 6, 8 seats taken. You also got this one, which is pretty significant. Almost all the seats taken here. I don't know if I'd count the ones closer to the screen, just because like nobody ever really wants to sit up front. So this is Friday at 10:15.
I can't see anything.
Can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see my screen? No. Oh yeah, I'm not sharing. My bad. I thought I was sharing.
I just see your logo.
Like,
okay, yeah. Sorry.
Like that.
Yeah, so this was Friday. So I took it Thursday morning, and here's the first Friday.
Like that's the morning.
No, Thursday morning. I apologize. No, but they were saying there's a lot of. I'm going to get to my point in a second, but they're saying there's a lot of advanced ticket sales, and this is, you got to remember though, I am in the 4th largest city, and this theater is connected to Highway 10, which is a clear connection all the way to San Antonio, and is also connected to a very large mall here in the Houston area. And then right here is a Friday at 11:45 p.m. where there's only 8 seats taken. This one, 10:15, a lot of seats were taken. And then again, like I was talking about, the front seats closer to the screen. And then you get right here, Friday night, 12:05 a.m. There's nothing purchased there. Saturday evening, kind of early evening, there's a lot of seats taken here, but then right here at 9 o'clock, you got 3 seats taken. 10:15, you got 6. So, and then here's 11:45, you got 2 taken. So my point is that there's some news that's been kind of dropping, which kind of adds to the controversy, and I can add to the link, add the link to the end of the chat section. But there's an article by Bounding into comics.com where they actually kind of discuss how people who work at theaters or have been to seeing Captain Marvel at theaters are seeing a lot of empty seats, and they're trying to make sense of it because they don't understand how it could have such a big box office when there's just not that many seats taken. Now it could be different where Justin's at. I don't know how many theaters are around this particular area, and there's actually quite a few theaters where I'm around.
A lot.
Okay, yeah,
A lot.
yeah. And then there's another. I guess my point is, there's another article by Cosmic Book News. Basically, what they're saying is, and if you read the articles, is that Disney is buying a lot of these tickets to create hype for the Captain Marvel film.
That was not my impression in the full pack theater.
That's why I asked, because I didn't go to see it, but you guys did, and I want to know, was it full or not?
Dude,
it was full. Some of my friends were trying to watch the movie, and they had to wait till into the week because they couldn't find a ticket in time. Like even with the Stubbs A-list, you can do it online ahead of time. Exactly. And even with that, they were still filled.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't buy tickets ahead of time. Really I'm on my way there.
People just gotta stop with all this shit. Like stop with all the baggage. Just go see a movie that you want to see. That's it.
Yeah. People if you haven't seen it, you can't bag on it.
It really is. It's just so weird. It's just like why do you want to like? I understand if you like a movie, don't like a movie. If you for whatever reason, if you want to agree, disagree, that's fine too. But it's just like you have to take a second to just go back and be like, look, I'm just here to enjoy myself, and like when you take on that other initiative, which is like, I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows this movie's terrible, and I'm gonna make people feel like shit because they like it, and they shouldn't because the people that agree with me say you shouldn't. It's just like, dude, just go to the movie, enjoy yourself. Like stop bringing all this baggage to it, just because when it comes down to it, it makes me wonder, like, what do those people actually enjoy? Can they enjoy things? Like, it just seems like everybody just gets so much pleasure out of trying to tell people, that something that they like just isn't any good, and it's just like, who cares, man? Just let it go. Like,
they're making comic book movies.
I mean, they just, like I said, it is Jesse's show, and it's just a lot of the stuff has been coming to the surface over the past 24 hours, and you guys are going to hear more and more about it here probably over the weekend. But it's just something that was just out there. I thought I would talk about it because I didn't really believe all the hype and all that stuff, especially from what I've been seeing from my screenshots in theaters here. And just a lot more of this stuff is coming out that a lot of people think that Disney doesn't want The Last Jedi all over again. And so they're buying tickets to create, filled seats for these films, for their film.
I don't think, because then I honestly don't think that it's anything close to that. I think that just people, like, I don't think Disney sits there shuddering about The Last Jedi. I think that they like, all right, we made a flop, so what? Because I mean, Disney's made plenty of movies that haven't been, that are supposed to be big movies that didn't pan out. It's just the way it is. Like, I think
stop presenting.
Huh?
I'm trying to stop presenting. It's not still presenting me, is it?
Oh, I think I can do it.
Kind of, yeah.
You can take it off.
But I think that just that's all. I think that's all people just on that soapbox, just wanting to say what makes them feel good, and like, oh, see, Disney doesn't want this. I mean, because anybody can like that. That's the problem with social media at this point. I mean, where it's great for you can get any idea out there, and then on the other side of that, you can put any idea out there, whatever you want to say, and it just depends on who wants to listen. That's why, like, I really don't go into all that type of stuff. Like, I will say my opinion on things. I'll say, if I don't like something, throw it in the trash. But I'm not gonna sit there and just be like, just go into the nines and be like, yo, dude, I gotta make sure that everybody just believes me in my. It's just like, it's not worth all that. It really isn't. Like, it's just go see it. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, whatever.
I kind of feel like there were people out there who had an opinion of the movie prior to seeing it. Perhaps, based strictly on the actress herself. And then when the movie came out and did well, they're trying to kind of recover and continue that narrative and kind of spin it in certain ways to have that happen, despite the facts. And I believe that these other companies wouldn't be reporting inaccurate information. I think it would be pretty easy to determine who was buying the tickets, especially with like Stubbs A-list. They come from all these unique accounts, like me from my phone. They would be able to easily realize if it was Disney mass buying them. Not that they would specifically use A-list, but I'm just saying I think there were ways to track that, and it would be kind of easy to find out. But I don't know. I don't have any inside info on that.
Well, just let me know if you guys see more of it pop up, because I'm pretty sure it will.
It'd be interesting. I'll be looking forward to that. Since we're talking about box office numbers, Shazam came on to early tracking today. Actually, I think it was today. And was it today? What's today? The 14th? Yeah. So it was today, and it's going to crush this number. This is super low, 45 million.
Oh, heck
Whoa.
no.
Yeah, it's got some competition. It's got Pet Cemetery. You know, just getting people prepping up for like Endgame and stuff. You got something else coming out around that time. Oh, Us, the movie Us, comes out. I think it'll have been in theaters for a week or two at that point. So a little bit of competition there. But man, so I saw this movie last week. Opening night fan event for Captain Marvel was happening at this theater. At the same time, they were doing the world premiere, like red carpet and everything. Zachary Levi was there, which was pretty cool. They did like this whole the two kids who play Freddie and Billy were also there. So the three of them were up at the front of the theater. They gave like a little intro and stuff. But man, let me tell you, this movie is hilarious. It's funny, good action. It just was all around, like it came out of there just like feeling good, you know, like a superhero movie should be. And it's definitely up there with Wonder Woman. Yep, top 2 for DCEU easily.
Wow.
And they have absolutely at this point, I think 3 hits in a row: Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and now this. They've course corrected. They're like on the right track now, and I'm super stoked for. I think the Joker comes out next, so that's going to be another movie where it's different. It's a different feel. Each of these movies definitely has their own distinct feel to them, and this is absolutely kind of in line with that, like standalone-ish sort of thing. It's like the same universe, and you definitely know it is because of all like, and you see it in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but there's like the merchandise or the references, or you know, like Freddie had on a Atlantis lifeguard with like the, you know, the big A for Aquaman, you know, on his shirt. So you see things like that, or you know, like he has like a bullet with a COA or something like that, you know, somebody tried to shoot Superman and the bullet fell, so that's like a collectible now. So like things like that. But the movie and the story itself are very kind of self-contained. So I like that direction that they're going. I think that's smart, and I think that was ever since Walter Hamada came in, that changed around to that direction. But after that, the social media embargo lifted, and overwhelmingly positive. Everybody loved it. Said the same things: funny, hilarious, good action, full of heart. It's definitely kind of focused on family, which is good, and it's overall like a great movie. So with that narrative kind of continuing and that momentum, I think that this movie is going to do a hell of a lot more than that 45 million. I know it's early tracking still, and I think that number is going to shoot up as soon as there's some more screenings that are happening on, I think, the 23rd, when the full embargo lifts, and when I'll post my full review here on the YouTube channel. But I think once that happens, that number is going to skyrocket, because that anticipation, that you know, just the presence of the name out there, you know, they track like the hashtags and stuff, you know, and that kind of is part of the algorithm they use to come up with these numbers. But that number is gonna, I could see it doing what Captain Marvel did, really. I know it's early, but I could see this doing, I don't know, 170.
Do you think Shazam can come off of the success of Aquaman, kind of like how Captain Marvel is a little bit off of Infinity War?
It seems like it.
No, I think they're different characters, kind of different stories. I think if you're a DC fan, you already know who these are, so you kind of know that they're related in that way. But you know, with Captain Marvel, it's like, how does she tie into this overarching story? You know, what does that kind of look like going into this big epic cap on you know, a decade of storytelling? But as far as how it relates to Aquaman, I think that they're pretty self-contained, again, outside of kind of what you'd be looking for as a DC, like a true DC fan, or diehard fan, I should say. So I think it's kind of different in that way. But I think that people have a lot more confidence in these DC movies. And I think if it doesn't do maybe 170, it's a movie that's going to have legs. So that lifetime gross, the overall box office is going to be huge numbers. Definitely.
I was gonna say, I wonder, just to kind of expand on Edwin's question, because I wonder if maybe he's thinking in terms of maybe like casual fan who, you know, just kind of went to see Aquaman based on the fact, all right, superhero movie, I'll see it. Like maybe that. Do you think that maybe that?
No. Partly why I'm asking is because I think a lot of people know. Did he freeze up?
Type of translate well.
Oh. No, I think a lot of people realize that these are DC properties, and if you look at Batman versus Superman and Justice League, I think that a lot of people didn't go see Justice League because of how bad people thought Batman versus Superman was. But I think at least in the general public, they all know that it's a DC property, and I think that with the success of Aquaman, I could see more people wanting to go see Shazam, especially now that people are seeing that there's more Warner Brothers putting a little bit more humor into their films, which you know, obviously triggers people emotionally in a much better way to want to go see a film versus a dark theme to every single, you know, DC property. But no, that's just in general why I was asking.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I wasn't trying to. I should have asked if I was on the right track with my question on it, just because I didn't know if that's what you meant. Like, where it's just like, all right, you know, casual, just hero fan, going off of the fact that, you know, they made this DC movie and it looked fun, so, you know, you think that?
Yeah, because if you remember, there was a lot of talk, a lot of bad talk. People were like, "Man, Warner Brothers is in trouble."
Well, they
were in trouble with Batman versus Superman and Justice League. People were like, "Man, where are they gonna go?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because they were, and it was just like, you know, it ended up being one of those things where you're not sure what's gonna happen. And I mean, they've been able to make baby steps in the right direction, and now it seems like that you know, I mean, if because I saw Aquaman a little later on than, you know, everyone else did, but, you know, it seems like now they're kind of going from baby steps to actually taking good steps in the right direction. So, you know,
absolutely, I agree with that statement.
I feel like from the trailer, and I think too, it suffered a lot from the trailer when people were like, "Oh, this movie's not going to be good because this and that." The initial like teaser when people were just like, "Oh, what's this all about?" And the pictures that they were showing, and it's like, "Oh, he looks weird in the costume." But then once you got a trailer that actually like showed what it looked, I mean, I generally was like, "This is going to be a funny movie." Like, you can just tell like how they're going about it. It's going to be a fun one to watch. So I think that people are now, I think, are able to maybe be a little bit less. You know, what's a good word? Just a little bit less degrading on those movies where it's just like, you know, they're willing to give them more of a chance just based on the fact that these are starting to make some good strides. So I'm looking forward to see where they go next, just because, like I've said before, DC has a great history and just so many characters that you can do so much with. So you know, I am hoping and really excited to see them go and really come into their own and make some good movies, because I mean, there's such just a wealth of just characters and stories that they can go with, that they absolutely may not necessarily be able to pass Marvel in popularity, but they can definitely tell some great stories and have some, and just as a comic fan, to see really good movies and just have those slated out to be, you know, for the next, let's say, hopefully, you know, 20 years or so, that makes me happy.
I'm looking at the list of movies that are coming out, and it looks like what is it? Hellboy comes out just a week after Shazam. I think that's gonna hurt it as well.
Hurt Hellboy?
No, I'm sorry, hurt Shazam.
Gonna hurt them both.
Yeah.
I mean, but from what people, I mean, I guess, and you have a lot of speculation saying that it's not going to be the Hellboy, you know, that isn't coming across, you know, the way people would like to see it come across, and this and that. So it's just going to be one of those things where, you know, people are going to have to go ahead and make that choice. But I would say, I mean, to be honest, I would say I would probably give Shazam a chance over Hellboy just because I like where DC's Warner Brothers and DC are starting to head. So I mean, the problem with anything like that is that the fact that when you have more choices, and competition at the same time, it always seems to kind of end up cannibalizing the audience a little bit. But we'll see what happens. Just because I mean, there definitely is room for more good superhero movies out there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna want to check it. And it's an origin story. Definitely is an origin story. Right? There's very familiar tropes to it, but the way they do it's pretty cool. It feels, even though it's familiar, it still feels unique. So, I can't wait to talk about it more than I can say now. The embargo still hasn't lifted yet, so the full embargo.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, 45 million to me, having seen it already, that seems super low.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm glad to hear it's good though. I'm excited to see it now.
Yeah. So, all right, check this out. I'm gonna jump into something I put in the bottom of the description. So, if you guys don't know, if you're just popping in now or whatever, I always put the list of our topics in the description for the video. It follows it around, as a podcast too. You can put the descriptions. So I put, get ready for books starring this character of Spike, but I didn't say which character because I want to reveal that now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 screen share. It always has a little bit of a delay to screen share. Okay, so this is a screenshot from Twitter of a post that was tweeted and then quickly deleted by Scott Derrickson, who is the director of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I heard about this.
The first Doctor Strange movie.
Namor.
The second one. This is what do you call it? Fear Itself. The Deep, I think it's called. The Deep. Yeah, Fear Itself, The Deep, #1. It came out, I think it was like 2011 or something like that. But on this cover, you have Doctor Strange and Namor. Right?
Yeah.
So the question is, why would he do that and then quickly delete it? There's a couple of questions there, like at the end of the first Doctor Strange movie, they really played up the whole like Mordo's the villain now, right? And there's a lot of talk about Nightmare and the Nightmare realm and that whole aspect coming to fruition. And then the other big question is who owns the rights right now, right? As far as I know, they're still with Universal. Maybe they let them expire. Maybe they're doing a partnership. We've seen a lot of that recently. Spider-Man being the perfect example with Sony and Marvel. So who knows what kind of that relationship looks like. But to me, it's very interesting. And apparently, screenshots and everything to a lot of people that Scott Derrickson, the director, posted this and then quickly deleted it like crap. I can't put this out yet. That being said, like this would be cool to see him here, but I still really want to see Namor with Black Panther 2 versus Doctor Strange 2. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I have a feeling that this book, and I haven't checked prices, but Fear Itself, The Deep #1, I have a feeling, I don't know if you guys have eBay handy or not, see how many sales have gone on, but I have a feeling this book is going to move because of this tweet. And
it's called Fear Itself, The Deep.
The Deep. Yep.
Number what?
Number it's the first issue of it. But do you remember that that event, Fear Itself? Had like the big dark banner on the top. That's where it's from.
Well, I mean, since there hasn't been a sale since February 23rd, but then all of a sudden yesterday there were 3 copies sold in the same day.
Yeah.
But that's it.
This because it was quickly deleted and stuff, I don't think a whole lot of people reported on it. So, well, that's good news then. Other than us talking about it now, maybe that's a good book to pick up, assuming it's cheap.
Spec
Is it
purchase.
cheap? Yeah,
like people are selling the whole run for like $12, $13. I think one person's selling it for like 20.
But outside of a storyline, is there anything significant other than the fact that it just might, not a fact, but speculation that it might be in a movie?
Well, he used a Jimi Hendrix quote.
Like, is there
Yeah.
a character in there or something?
Are you experienced?
Yeah, man. As soon as I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, I know this. It's Jimmy. I was like, Jimmy coming to the MCU?
Like, I don't know who else, but I mean, it would be Namor's first appearance if they're somehow actually using him. That would be a big deal.
That would be really cool.
And what else? Like, why else would he have posted that? You know?
And then they could just push Mordo off to like the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're gonna build and hopefully bring Dormammu out there like legit though.
Yo mama.
Dormammu. I like Dormammu. I think he's a cool villain. But I'd like to see him, you know, I'd like to see him in the actual like role of you know, destroying the universe a little bit here and there.
Yeah, they may get into that like later on.
Yeah,
you know, but I still feel like they're gonna go Annihilus and Kang next. Maybe Galactus as well with FF coming in. So I think that's more they're going for.
I can't wait for
other galactic threats.
Galactus would be ridiculous just for the fact that means the Surface coming too.
You gotta build up to Galactus.
There's a crazy theory out there that Thanos did the snap thing because he was trying to prevent Galactus from eating too much. Sounds funny. But, yeah. But Doctor Strange 2, there's no like official release date for it yet, but Marvel has a bunch of dates locked in for 2020 and 2021, so probably going to be somewhere in that range. So yeah.
I would hope so because I don't know how many films Benedict Cumberbatch is signed in for, but I feel like a guy like him, you know, he'd be the type to do a few movies and then want to move on to something else because he could probably find, you know, some other, you know, find a way to another potentially bigger scene through what's going on here, and you know, maybe look into some, you know, looking for like Oscars and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that you know they lock him in for a while and have some really cool stuff going down.
Whatever. What Bake the Snake said is right. Doom. We need Doom.
Doom 143.
Sick too. Like I mean, don't get me wrong.
Marvel Doctor Doom.
Would be really great. Cool. You know, and I really want to see Galactus in the Surfer, but also Doom would be awesome. And Doom.
We're like screw the Fantastic Four. We just want all their villains and extra characters.
Because I mean, the Fantastic Four would be awesome to see, but I mean, part of what really makes them stand out is that cast of villains that they have. Yeah. And I mean, they just so happen to have two of the biggest, you know, in there, along with the Super Skrull, who would they be? You know, he'd be number 3 in there as well. I mean, it's just like there's so much. They open up the universe. I mean, they really open it up well, and then you know, getting the X-Men into there as well. Just I mean, you have everything under one umbrella, or most everything under one umbrella. Like that's really just what everyone's like, you know, dying for at this point.
Yeah, I remember watching an episode of Comic Book Man, and Stan Lee came in. He jumped up on the counter and was like, you know, like teacher telling these kids all these stories. Like they were literally sitting on the floor.
Yeah,
one of them asked about Dr. Doom, and Stan was like, you know, I don't think Dr. Doom is a villain. I never considered him a villain. He says, if you look at any book of law in any country, you won't see this. All Dr. Doom wanted to do was rule the world, and that's not illegal. You know, I could go outside in the street right now and say, I want to rule the world, and wait there for hours, and nobody will come and arrest me because I said that. So
he gets kind of ruthless. That's his problem. He's really ruthless about it, though. I mean, if all
Doom bots are bad
about it in like, you know, legal means, like he'd be fine. But it's just you know, trying to open up vortexes to like, you know, Dormammu's realm and Mephisto's realm, and you know, I mean, pretty much getting half of New York sucked into a hole like that. That doesn't sit well with people.
Yeah.
So you have to redraw maps and stuff. People get upset.
And how am I supposed to get to work now? It's in the demon.
Oh my gosh! Gotta go around this big hole. Oh.
So, I think Jackio's in the chat. I think he needs a restroom break because he always takes a little coffee break or restroom break when we talk about slabs. So this isn't quite a slab thing,
Slabito.
but this does relate to CGC. This came out a couple days ago. They're basically saying, hey, you guys have been asking about this, and we're going to go ahead and do it. You guys get a lot of prints at the conventions. Those signatures on there, somebody needs to validate those. I don't know. So
well, I want to know what people have been asking for that, because personally, I want to tell you,
there's a lot of fakes out there. I'll say that though.
There's no reason. There's no reason for it. But for like, you don't need to verify these. This is just annoying.
I think it's cool. I mean, people sell a lot of prints at cons, and one of the dimensions that I like as well is that they're the same dimensions as original art pages. So, like, if you want to just slab your original art page, I think
11 by 17, right?
And 14 by 20, because I got a couple turtles pages that are pretty large. But I mean, some people, not only do you get that verification, but it's encased and it just presents and looks a little bit better.
And what that's going to do is the price of prints is going to go up now.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit.
Well, what I'm worried about is, yeah, exactly. Now you're going to have like with the books, if you come with a witness, you need like the slab price now.
Like, it plays right into the grading company price. Like, CGC is all about it. Oh, fuck yeah, like we'll do that because we're gonna get paid a whole bunch more money. Absolutely. And then now, watch. Go ahead and try to get a print signed, and then watch them see you go over to CGC and see how quickly everyone starts charging extra money to sign prints and shit like that. You already paid for the print. Like that. That's why I was like, you pay for it. They sign it out of courtesy because you already bought it. Like, I mean, and the price isn't all that expensive for it to be slabbed and everything else, but it's still, it's a bullshit move by them. I don't like it. I think I think people that have been asking for, like, oh yeah, we have, like, that's just people looking to make money, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I think that I just really do think that it's just a really just, it's such a like useless thing. And just the way I see things, just like, you don't need to get this. I mean, you would right there, you can authenticate it yourself. Like, I'm sorry that you can't get more than $10 to sell a signed print on eBay. Like, that's not anybody else's fault. That's just the way that is, because people aren't trying to pay crazy money to get a signed print, because you literally can go and get one anywhere. Now you have to have a slabbed one. It just seems stupid. And of course, like I said, CGC is more than happy to take your money to do it, because we'll offer another service. Yes, here we go. And it's just, no. I just don't like the whole idea of it, because the fact is, I just don't feel like if I pay for a print, and I just feel like it should be able to be signed with no second thought, second guess, or any of that crap. I don't want to have to pay an extra.
Well, it's an option that they're not forcing everybody who ever buys a print now to get this.
No, I know that.
Service you can get if you want. If not, you still can do your thing. Hopefully, they won't change the prices too much.
Well, and let's be honest, this isn't going to be a big selling point from their services. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like a magazine size comic book. There's just not a big market or demand for those, and
there isn't yet. There will be. Are you serious?
It has to catch on, and you have to have a lot of people promoting it, a lot of people just doing it, and a lot of people trying to sell it.
When people, put it this way: if people go on eBay and start making money with it, it'll fucking catch on. That's 100%.
It might. I mean, because I kind of look at a little bit of the CBCS raw grade. That has not even caught on.
Yeah, but that's raw grade. You can't sell your book. If you get a raw graded book, like, okay, so I'm not going to pay you that much for the raw graded book. If I'm going to just go ahead and get it graded, take it out, pay $20 or whatever it is for the book, whatever price you're asking, and try to get it, for cheaper, and then go ahead and try to sell it for more later on. Like that. That's raw grade is kind of just. I can see why that's not taking off and jumping up, because people can't make a lot of money off of that, because people can be like, so there's a raw grade, this doesn't mean anything. Like, I can't. You can tell me that, oh, okay, it's raw graded at a 9.0, but slab 9.0 of this book here, it goes for $300. Like, no. But I'm telling you, like, the slab print thing could end up being a pain in the ass later on. That's why I don't like it.
Well, like, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's going to be a grade on the print. It's just gonna
No, they
just
said that they're not
yellow.
grading the print itself or the art, just authenticating the signature.
We'll see.
Yeah,
because then when you try to sell, if you try to sell a print that without that, people aren't gonna want to pay money for that. They're gonna be like, well, it's not authenticated. How do I know it's real? Like, yeah, you say no, that's the truth. That's what's gonna happen. I fully can get behind original art pages. Absolutely, that makes sense because those are actual, legitimate pieces of art that need to be, legitimized and authenticated.
Well, but I just use that as an example because of the dimensions. But even an original art page, they're still just going to yellow label whatever the signature is.
Yeah. No, I believe in, like, I would say something like that I would get behind in a second. But yeah, that's perfectly fine. Original art should be. Well, even if it's like, sketches, stuff like that, perfectly fine. I'm down with that. But a print that they literally go to, they print out at Kinko's by the 1,000, no. It's just so useless and stupid. And it's just a cash grab by CGC. I'm sorry, but
that's what the celebrities do when you get like a picture of them and they sign it. Those are just like photocopied, printed out stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not nothing against the artists that do it. I mean, it's their art; they can go ahead and make tons of them, and that's fine. It's just like, but I just feel like it's overreach by CGC. And I don't like
it is, but they continue to be smart because they continue to be innovative. I mean, there are what is this, a second news drop by them in the past month? First, it was the different banners by your favorite Marvel characters or whatever, and now it's
that they can't do the Stanley ones.
Yeah, no, I think it's smart. I mean, whoever's making these decisions is doing a really good job. Like Chris, I see your point, but it's just all about business.
No, I know.
And now that you have a legitimate threat like CBCS, you have to kind of try to stay ahead of the curve a little bit.
No, I get that completely. My thing is the reason why I don't like it is because I can see it taking off. It's not so much that it's like I don't like it just because of I see it taking off and I see it just basically becoming a hassle for other people down the road. Like that's my thing on it. That's where I come from with it. I think it's a service that take advantage of it. But I mean I don't think that it's gonna outrank comics or anything like that. But I do think that it's gonna end up being that's gonna be your next just cash grab for people to kind of flip on eBay, and then you're gonna have creators getting pissed off at that because they already get pissed off at people flipping signed books or flipping original art and stuff like that. Like that's gonna be the next thing that people just be no, I'm gonna upcharge you on this too. It's just like all the upcharging that happens based on the fact that people can go to some type of grading company and get something authenticated, graded, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like like the industry, the artists are going to go ahead, artists and writers and whoever are going to go ahead and try to adapt with that and make everything more expensive on us. That's why I think it's just a stupid. I just don't like it. I'll say that. Like I think that's
fair enough.
Really, just
yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll have a pile for the authentication folks and a pile for the non, and keep them on opposite ends of the table. So we'll see. Well, it's early. I don't think it's kicking off coming up at a convention, so they haven't even started with it yet. So we'll definitely as feedback comes in, I'm sure we'll hear about that, and I'm kind of be able to report back to you guys on that. So couple quick things before we jump into the final piece, which is the Grim Knight thing. We talked about Shang-Chi, the movie, a while back. Definitely moving forward.
Like it.
Yep. And they have a director now. Destin Daniel Cretton is his name. And he doesn't have a very large body of work, but he's working on something with Brie Larson, actually, and Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, Creed guy, Storm guy also, right? Johnny Storm. But that's pretty much it. So they kind of pull this guy out, and Brie really likes the representation aspect of this, right? He's half Chinese, half American. Shang-Chi is, but Destin Daniel Cretton is Asian as well. I don't know exactly from where, but he is. So, but cool. It's pretty cool they have this, and it's first Asian-led superhero movie as well. So a lot of firsts there. But this is what I'm looking forward to. I don't know how it's going to play into the overall story. It seems like it would have to be they're going cosmic, and it seems like it would have to be a very grounded story, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, unless it ties into like the Black Widow movie. That would also be very grounded, although that is more of like a period piece. So who knows?
That makes sense. That'd be cool. I think the one thing that most people will agree on is that it would probably be better than Iron Fist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder in a way if Iron Fist was kind of like a testing the waters type situation. In a way, is like, we want to make Shang-Chi a movie, so let's do this real quick. And that's really cool. Like, I mean, I think it'd be awesome to see that, especially if they, can get a really good, kung fu, almost kind of like how Kill Bill had that kung fu movie type vibe to it.
Oh man, Kill Bill is so good.
That would be, I think, awesome.
Did you see the second season of Iron Fist?
I didn't finish it.
Good, you're not missing anything.
Oh come on, it was better than the first.
It was way better than the first one.
Better than the first, but come on.
No, I mean,
that's not a very high bar to jump over.
I think that it would be really cool to just see that done right. Like that would, and I think too, you can't really lose sight of the grounded characters, just because you're gonna need some of those at some point. The street level type stuff, because every once in a while you want to go back and be like, all right, want something relatable, even though it's cool to see all this cosmic stuff. Like, get back to something that I can relate to. Like, oh yeah, this could be the everyman walking around. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd definitely be cool to see this. And if you guys aren't familiar with Shang-Chi, I do the history and origin videos, right? I have a couple queued up actually, but I did one on Shang-Chi. So breaking down his history and everything, where he comes from, the rights with Fu Manchu and all that, and up to the latest stuff, with the Stark Tech and all that. So that's on my channel. Just search JLS Comics Shang-Chi, and it should pop up for you. So
the first Hispanic is a cocaine dealer.
Nice. So yes, that'll be pretty cool. And then we'll jump into the next thing here, and that is something that I think is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this. Apparently, Disney Plus is talking about doing an animated What If series.
Yes,
for the streaming service.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool, right?
Oh, that'll be cool. I was so happy as soon as I saw it. I was like, yes.
Like, I hope it's like MCU What If.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like alternate versions of the MCU. That would be pretty cool.
I want them to do some of the stories that came out of the books too. Like, I want to see some of those come out, because there's so many good ones, and it's such a fun series. I can't wait for that. Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like,
what if Fox had not killed the Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
Or just some of the I mean, because I guess it's supposed to be a cartoon, they can't do the what if where Conan becomes a pimp, but they can do like what if
greatest story of all time.
That would be cool. And then it'd just be so cool just to see some of those, like what if Dr. Doom was a hero instead of a villain, and all these other really cool things.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that, and I am happy to see that What If is getting its just due finally. Thank you.
Very cool.
A lot of them are around the Fantastic Four and stuff too, so I don't know if they can touch on those.
Well, there's a ton of X-Men. Or they can just do What If anything.
There's a lot of Hulks. Thor has a lot of stories.
What if Hulk had the brain of Bruce Banner? I think actually there's a theory about that one. Not the what if part, but that idea, with Professor Hulk, which has been done. There's two different theories for Endgame. One is Professor Hulk, and the other is World Breaker Hulk. So either one, I'm down with either of those. What if someone else had become Nova? I remember that one.
Oh no, it was like, what if Nova became like four other people? What if Spider? What is it? What if Spider-Woman, Ghost Rider? I think it's like four people as like, and I remember Spider-Woman and Ghost Rider vividly were actually villains. What if Wolverine was a Lord of the Vampires? Oh my god, off different books in my collection right now. What if Thor fought Conan? Awesome one.
What if Namor had married Sue Storm?
What if what if the heroes had lost the Atlantis War?
There's like, what if Bullseye didn't kill Elektra? What if Daredevil killed the Kingpin?
Yeah.
Same with Wolverine and the Hulk. Does that?
Yep. They go back and forth. Wolverine killed the Hulk. Hulk killed Wolverine. What if Magneto led the X-Men? Oh, so many good ones.
There was like, what if? Wasn't there like, what if we like lost Operation Galactic Storm?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was it? What if Reed Richards had lost the Trial of Galactus? What was the other one? There was a bunch of really good ones. One of the funny ones is what if nobody was watching The Watcher, and just funny stories like that. That's a good one. If you like a good laugh, go read that one. That's a funny one. But yes, what if getting its own series on Disney?
Yeah. When I heard that jumped up to quickly becoming one of my most anticipated.
They said it's animated, right? Not
Right.
animated. It would be animated.
Wasn't the first appearance of Spider-Girl in What If?
Yes. What if 105?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then
what if Captain Marvel had not died?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. And then they have what was it? What if
what if Wolverine and his ex-vampires conquered the world?
What if Jubilee was cool?
Yeah. That's the other Captain Sparkle Fingers.
Right.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the one about if the symbiote had possessed Peter Parker, that's a good one too. But that's really cool. They're gonna do that.
Yeah. So everybody go. That's your mission this weekend, is to go hunt What If books.
What if everyone knew that Daredevil couldn't see, something like that? Yeah.
Lots of good What If books. What if Jane Foster was Thor?
Yeah.
And which happened. Yeah. So a lot of cool ones there. I mean, we could go on and just list them all, but I think people can look those up. So there's a lot of them too. So they can definitely, there's probably a good 3-4 seasons of story there at least.
Oh yeah, and they can make up their own new ones too.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they do. Yeah, I hope they do that and do the MCU. You know, like what if the Chitauri had landed in Boston? I don't know. So things like that. You know,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And I think that, them doing that is really just, that would be awesome if they would make up new ones. But that's no excuse not to make What If comic line. I mean, they started that and then it kind of died out.
They always do like 1 or 2 at a time. It's like, hey, I hear What If it's in this list. It's cool. And then you get 2 and it just like disappears.
Exactly. No. Like, make it ongoing. Although, I mean, I guess if it's a cool concept or a cool story, concept for a story, and it comes out once every couple months, that kind of keeps people from getting sick of it. So, I just want it to be cool stuff every time, though.
And then all the really cool ones end up becoming canon anyhow. They end up using that story in continuity. So, all right. So, did any of you guys talking about continuity read Grim Knight, Batman Who Laughs, Grim Knight?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. Give me your lowdown on it. What do you think? Let's back up. This is part of the Batman Who Laughs. There's a mini series coming out for Batman Who Laughs. Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV. Couple covers out there. This just came out, and you got Eduardo Risso on art. So this is basically a story about the Grim Knight. It's another alternate version of Batman, a very violent weapon wielding one. And this was a one-shot, self-contained. Well, not really self-contained. It's a one-shot that ties into that. And that was just the preamble for it. So what did you think of it?
It was good. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool because you get to pick up right from where the other book leaves off, and then you go directly into his origin and just kind of how he came to be as he's talking to Gordon, and then you find out that throughout it, that even though he's working with the Batman Who Laughs, he's somewhat working against him in a way, just because he's the Batman Who Laughs has really, I guess, like gruesome plans for what he wants to do to Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
And I guess the Batman Who Grim Knight has gone ahead and tried to, prevent it by being like, look, I'm just gonna kill you. Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Your Batman.
And he's like, I'm saving you. Trust me. Like, what this guy has in store for you, you don't want to hear. And I was able to talk him down from it, but we have to keep moving. And he also, you get to see really how the killing of his parents could have affected him and turned him really into something way more brutal than what he actually became. And then you also see how, I guess there's one moment in it too where you kind of get a glimpse of that he's not completely
evil,
broken. Yeah.
And the Alfred thing.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Alfred thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What Alfred's is like, I've had enough of this. Like, I can't deal with this anymore. I mean, and he's like, I didn't sign up for this. He's like, I'm leaving. And he's like, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna kill me? He's like, go ahead and do it. I'm still walking out the door. I'm not about this. He's like, and he's like, I'll always love you, but I can't be a part of this. And he has a chance to kill him, but he doesn't. And then, I guess it was funny because the Gordon from the Gordon from Grim Knight's Earth, I guess, was able to actually take down Grim Knight at one point. But now in this Earth, he's trying to prevent that and also work with the Batman Who Laughs at, I guess, his ultimate plan. So, I mean, it answered questions about the Grim Knight, and it opened up so many more questions as to like where this is going to go and what's going to happen. Just because where the actual Batman Who Laughs story left off, you see the Bruce Wayne, who is trying, regular Batman, who's trying to, thwart the plan, figure out that he has to basically become the Batman Who Laughs to know how to get past what's going on. So, for Commissioner Gordon and what's going on with his world, it's all up in the air. Like, I'm not sure, what's going to happen next. And I like that a lot about that series. I think that it's really good, and done well. So, I liked it. I would say, out of 10, I would give it a solid 8.
Okay.
Very good story.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It would have gotten a higher score for me. The art didn't quite do it for me.
Yeah,
a little distracting at times. That art style. It's definitely a Risso style.
Yeah.
For some of his other stuff, he's worked on Batman before and quite actually a lot of other stuff. So it's Eduardo Risso, but I don't know. It was a little distracting for me.
Yeah.
So, but you're right.
Really good though.
Yeah, I like the story a lot. Definitely an origin story. You go back, you revisit, Crime Alley, right after the Mark of Zorro and all that, and what had happened if things had gone a little bit differently that night, and how that would have, downstream affected him and his mentality about everything, and it was cool. Definitely well done. Got a good feel for who he is, the Grim Knight, and it's something kind of Marvel could take note of when you do a tie-in, kind of, standalone sort of tie-in that, it can tie to the story, still be its own thing, but I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Just
I like that
one shot that kind of furthers the story.
Yeah, it's some of the Marvel ones. It's completely irrelevant and unnecessary.
Yeah,
and you can completely skip them. And this one, maybe sure you could, but it definitely enhances the story to know this. You know what I mean? Whereas with the Marvel ones, it's like take it or leave it. It's not going to affect that anyway. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that I also think that DC kind of learned from the whole introduction of all the different Batman, all those one shots there, where it's just like that all probably pretty much could have been done in its own one shot. It didn't have to be separate issues every time.
But
you know, for them, you know, and what they were going with metal, they decided to go that. So I mean, I'm glad they went this way, and I mean, it was good that, you know, and it makes sense too because they're only introducing one new Batman, not 5 like they were doing before. So,
yeah. And it's one book. The other part about comparing it to Marvel is if this was a Marvel one, it would be a 5-issue mini.
Well, yeah, just like what they did with the Infinity Warps or whatever. Like the people that kind of during the Infinity War when they had all the mashups like Iraq Knight and you know, was it
Hex,
Weapon Hex and Weapon Hex and then
Hex.
Soldier Supreme. Like it was just like, you know, you had all these people that like had and Ghost Panther, like they all had at least 2 issues. So that's 10 books, you know, that really, I mean, didn't do much for the story other than like, this is how they live in their world. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
cool.
This was done well. I think it was done well. I agree with the art as well, though. I think the art could have been a little better, and I think that, you know, to an extent, you know, when you have somebody who's writing a good story, such as a Scott Snyder, you know, it really does make sense to get, you know, a top tier artist to work with it to kind of so that both pieces combine together and make, you know, just really make the book feel complete rather than having one side be lacking where the other one is just amazing and then it's just like, oh, but this kind of takes you out of it. Just same as if you have an amazing artist on a book but the story sucks and it's just like, well, what the hell's going on? Like, I mean, you have all these great scenes of action and everything, but just the story doesn't make any sense of what's going on.
Yeah, I will say this though about the art, just to kind of balance out our statement. There was one panel, kind of a splash page. I think it was more like 3/4 of the page, with the people burning alive.
Yeah,
that was really striking to me.
That was freaky.
yeah, exactly.
When he came to and it was pretty cool. I actually thought that was kind of cool, and just that's kind of a tribute to Snyder's writing too, just because it's like, you know, you figure, even looking at someone like the Punisher, okay, so he's gonna go after the criminals, so he would have went after all the mob bosses and their goons and everything and killed all them, and probably wouldn't even have thought about going after all the rich people who backed them. And this one, he's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and get the rich people who back them first so that they don't have the money that they normally had flowing through them to keep replenishing. So as I take them all down, like their numbers are going to reduce and that's it. And I think another really cool thing that they had done was with Batman, like basically when as he was eliminating everybody out of the city and you had, you know, he just kind of put in this big Overwatch program where it's just like, you know, he has every corner of the city under wraps, and it's just like to the point where, you know, if something bad's gonna happen, he just show up and kill them, and then just kind of go back to watching the city as it is. And he basically turned Gotham City into a weapon. That's one thing that Commissioner Gordon alludes to. He's just like, so you turn the city into a weapon. Like, this is why you don't need to be like you know, this is why you're going down, because it's just like he
was leaning on Wayne Enterprises for tech, and that turned out not to be a good choice.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was awesome too. That was really cool. And I liked when they showed the story of I guess back in the Grim Knights world when he got taken down, he's just, you know, regular Bruce Wayne just hanging out in his front yard and you know, Gordon goes to tell him, like, you know, this is what's going down. He's like, are you crazy? He's like, what? Like, do you really think that this is the right way to do things? Like, you know, he's like, I'm a good man. Like, I've done all this good stuff. And he's like, no, thank you. He's like, you're coming with us.
Exactly.
I can show you that I can take you down, which I thought was cool. It's cool to see Commissioner Gordon be kind of a badass too, you know.
Because
you don't get to see that much, and I think that that's something that he needs to be. You know, I mean, he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, and he's a hardened cop. Like, he needs to, you know, every once in a while, you know, get out there and be a badass. So I'm sure he's done, and they don't delve too much into it, but I'm sure he's done things and seen things that, you know, really go against. Where he's got to break or head into a really gray area, and it's just like, yeah, I've done things I'm not proud of, and I've done things where you have to kind of, you know, throw the law to the side and just, you know, be that person to take, you know, charge of the situation.
Well, look at the way they portrayed him in the animated version of I think it was Year One. where I think he ended up cheating on his wife, and it was prior to him being the commissioner.
Yeah.
Remember the group of guys were trying to like, you know, mess with him, and he ended up going to their house or their hideout, whatever, and just kicking all their butts.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good thing. I mean, because that's cool. Because that's the type. I mean, you're gonna have like he's gonna have something like that that's happened throughout his experience. It's just the way it is, you know. I mean, every I'm not gonna say every single cop, 'cause I can't generalize like that, but I feel like there's got to be moments where you know you have decisions that you have to make, and you know if it was just to do everything strictly by the book, you know you wouldn't. You know you have to kind of make that different decision and go. You know, and get a little grimy from time to time. And I feel like that's where Commissioner Gordon needs to go from time to time to be like, yeah, I'm a grimy dude. Like, this is just the way it is. Like, in order to keep up with the town, like, to be able to, you know, be the police commissioner in a place like this, you have to go and get your hands dirty. It's just the way it is.
He'd be the grimy knight.
The grimy knight.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. Well, that is it for our topics for this show. Let's go around, give a couple final thoughts and plugs if you want, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up, get prepped up for next week. But Justin, what do you got going on in Exile State? I know you kind of touched on it at the beginning, but let folks know.
Sunday Morning Comics is coming back, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, it'll be back this week.
Yes.
So
All right.
it's back. Regardless of where I am, I can always do the Sunday Morning Comics.
Always good. Wake up Sunday,
well.
eat my breakfast, and see live show.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Can I stream it while I'm in church?
Sure. It is God approved.
Oh, that reminds me. We do have one more topic.
All right.
Go.
As I cough. Second Coming. Remember that book? Was going to come out by
Image?
Image?
They got canceled. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
It didn't get completely shelved. What they did was they said, okay, well, let's go find another publisher. So they did. Now it's going to be published through Ahoy Comics, and it's actually going to come out this summer.
I like
So you'll
it.
be able to read it. Yeah. So found a new home.
Okay.
Ahoy they've been doing good stuff. Wrong Earth is very good.
Yeah. Which is opted.
Oh, really?
Really?
Right. Wrong Earth and Port of Earth.
Yeah, Port of Earth, though, is Image.
Yeah.
Yes. But Wrong Earth, I had a feeling it would, just because it's a strong story and it's done really cool. Like it has a very translatable story that you could put on film or television or however you want to do it. So I like it, and it's just a really fun read. So definitely happy with that, and I will be looking forward to the Second Coming on Ahoy Comics.
There you go. Right on. So, all right, back to Justin and Sunday morning.
No, Sunday Morning Comics is coming back, normal haul stuff and things like that. But also a big shout out and thanks to everybody who showed up in the chat. We really, really appreciate that. You know, just keeps the show moving along as we get to like read through your comments and try to keep up with the conversation that's going on in there. You know,
Right on.
so good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Cool. All right, Chris. More hauls coming up.
Yep, I'm gonna have some more videos coming. Just a bunch of different stuff popping up. Some back issues as well. As always, I always say try to get yourself at least one. So definitely some good stuff going there. And then hopefully see Captain Marvel this weekend, but we'll see. But yeah, just more videos coming very soon. So just keep watching. There's gonna be some pretty cool stuff.
Sweet. We're looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right, Edwin.
Nothing really that I haven't said already. Just look out for the video I'm going to put out really soon. The CGC and CBCS comparison. It's going to be on the same book too, so it's going to be a really good in-depth comparison of the two. So that's it.
All right, cool. We'll be looking forward to that as well. I got a couple of videos coming up this weekend. History video, video that kind of ties sort of to Grim Knight. Also want to do a couple more my anime videos. My Alita one's done pretty well. So I think I'm going to start a series on that, semi-regular series. And I've been thinking about bringing back a second kind of live show thing. I started doing that a little while back, but with that format, it didn't quite work out. Not on this channel, but just in the community, the way I was hoping, to where wanted like other, folks could come in or whatever, kind of open house format. But I was thinking about doing something not that way, but I don't know, just an idea I've been tossing around. So keep an eye out for that. And then, like we said last time, got some really great things on the horizon for this crew here for Comic Conversation that I think you guys will like. We're excited about getting that stuff out. So stay tuned for that as well. This will be up audio format on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, you name it, iHeartRadio even. It'll be out there. So be on the lookout for that if you like to stream us in the car, wherever it is. And like Justin said, thank you guys for being here in the live chat. Or if you're watching later, drop us a comment, anything, any of these subjects, whatever it is, we'll be happy to continue that conversation down there. That's it, guys. This is Comic Conversation. This has been Pi Day, Thursday. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, everybody.
Mhm.